guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nilanda. I'm a 30-something living in the smallest US state, and your girl is seeing BTS in concert this weekend. Yup, it is finally time for me to see BTS in concert once again. Last time I saw them was for Permission to Dance in Las Vegas. I can't even begin to explain how excited I am that they are back together, that they have a new album out, that there's new music, that I'm able to see them in concert. Like, oh god, this is, I think in a lot of ways the world feels really crappy right now, and I'm really grateful that BTS offers some bit of like the hope and happiness for me. I'll be flying to Tampa next weekend to see them at the first and second shows they have in the US this tour, and I cannot wait. Do I feel prepared? Absolutely not. I'm excited and I'm really looking forward to it, but I do not feel prepared. Thankfully, the colors for Arirang, BTS's new album, are so up my alley. Reds, blacks, hell yeah. I do have things in my closet that kind of fit those colors, which is great. I will need to have a day where I kind of just pull everything out to try and put outfits together. For this vlog, we only need to think about 2 outfits, but because I have more shows coming up later in the summer, as well as another trip next week, there's been a lot of like outfit stuff on my mind. So I need to hit a couple thrift stores, and I need to like figure out my plan for what I want to wear for the concert, because in my brain, I have a pretty cool concept of a simple shirt, but will I be able to actually draft it out and put it into fruition? I have no idea. So that's what this vlog is going to be. A lot of prep for that. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous because I have maybe less than a week to get it done. And I'm also trying to get this vlog out before I actually leave for the show. So we'll see. And you know what? This is so typical me. Typical me. I have a big event and I have this grand idea in my brain of what I want to do. And then I rush through it because I only have like 6 days to get it done. If this actually turns out okay, I'm going to be so proud of myself. But like, I guess we won't know until it's done. So let's make sure we're hydrated. And hit up some thrift stores and start drafting out a pattern or, jotting down our ideas for the DIY. Let's go. Hydrating. We just went to Plato's Closet. Now we are stopping at Savers. I'm hoping we can find a few like cheap t-shirts in the right colors, which are black, red, and white, which I feel like we shouldn't really have a problem with, to kind of cut up and make something cool. 3 t-shirts. I think I can cut these up and make them something cool, but we'll see. So each shirt's about $3.29. I feel like I can cut it up and like stitch it back together and make either a cool like corset or like a skirt or something. I don't know, that's like the vision, but can the vision be put into fruition? I don't know, but we'll see. Let's talk about my idea for the DIY shirt. I took inspiration from this vintage Moschino cheap and chic shirt. I've had it on my list of like things I just want and I would love to just find one day. So it comes in, I think, red, black, and I've seen it in like a rainbow color too. This shirt has always just been something in my brain that I like, because I like that it is a little mismatched with like, the hanging like strips and stuff. But having those fabric strips also reminded me a lot of the tour poster, as well as the What Is Your Love Song campaign, where it looked like it was just like kind of ribbons crossing and stuff, and also with how the track list is written on the album. So my plan is to make a tube top / corset, or a tight fitting shirt with multicolored fabric strips. So kind of making it like a patchwork, but having them kind of hang at different angles. And then on the hanging strips, I would like to use my Cricut and use iron-on vinyl to make it have it say like their names on it from the tour poster. And then the back would just be kind of a lace up. The kicker with the shirt is that I also want to be able to wear it backwards so that the part that's laced up can be laced up in the front, and it'll just be like that look. And the other thing I want to do too is that with the strips, I want to be able to like button them up so that the shirt can be like one length too, and it doesn't have to be kind of asymmetrical and stuff. But wait, we're not done. The other part is that I want to be able to turn it inside out and wear it too as a different like look. So then I'm thinking the like inside fabric, instead of like a lining, it would just be a new like shirt to wear. And that would be a plain white version that maybe just has the Arirang logo across the front, but maybe a couple of like distressing and stuff, like maybe a couple of holes and like, you know, some safety pins or something that I could add to it like when I want to wear it. And then the back would also be, again, that lace up in the front, but it would also be a distressed version of the shirt too. That's a lot. That's like a lot of things in one brain. And I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to try my best. This is what I've kind of drafted as a small, if this all works out, this is what I would think. So this is the idea of that, like I would have already cut out different strips from t-shirts. I have it gray here, but it would be white. So red, white, and black. And then basically I would cut them into strips, sew it together into one big piece, and then cut a pattern out of it. And then the strips would have different lengths so that when you put it together, it'd all be kind of, you know, asymmetrical. And then each strip would have the name of a member from the poster. And I'd be able to cut that with my Cricut and then just iron it on. And on the back of it, the idea is that I'd be able to lace it up, but also there would still be like fabric here. So it doesn't necessarily need to be like, you know, full skin down. So then also with the strips is that I want to be able to like snap it up, I guess, this way. So if I wanted to wear it like regular length, I probably could. Because the other idea I have is that I want to wear the shirt inside out. So like this would be a white top with the Arirang logo, maybe some distressing and stuff. And then these pieces I could just button up behind, or it'd be like inside against my skin from the other way. And then the back could be the same, where these button up behind. But also this would be distressed too, and it'd lace up in the back. Or if you wear this front ways, it would be, you know, a fun like front lacing distress shirt here. And then I figured I could also maybe put some D-rings over here, where basically you could add your own straps. So it'd be like put a ribbon there if you want. That's what these are intended to be. Again, that's the idea. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that was my grand plan. I'll be honest, like I'm very nervous to see or if I can actually pull this off or not. Like I feel like I don't have the like skill or technique really to like do it the way it should probably be done, but I also don't have the like patience or time to like really think it out, you know? I feel like this is part of maybe like woodworking, carpentry and stuff where they're like, okay, you gotta measure twice, cut once, right? I'm like, I have to sit down and like think about the order of operations or like how I can do things, where will there be gaps or holes and stuff in my plan before I start like sewing shit and then having to seam rip it all and then sew it again and then realize I messed up and then seam rip it again. I'm excited, but I'm nervous to get this done. So these are the t-shirts that I have. We're on my dining room table right now. We have a mostly white one, a red one, and a black one. I figure we gotta just start chopping it up, making strips, and then we're gonna have to sew it all together.
The first thing I did was cut the sleeves and the collar of all of my t-shirts. So basically I was trying to maximize the amount of fabric I'd be able to use. Then I also either cut the shoulder or the side seams to open up the shirt. As for the white t-shirt, that's what I use as my reversible lining side. I use a shirt that I already own that fits in a similar way to what I want this new shirt to fit. I didn't really make a true pattern from it or anything, but I kind of just use it as a loose guide and use my intuition to cut two identical pieces, one for the front and one for the back. For the piece that I used as the back, I cut it in half so that I could have two sides that I would eventually lace up together.
Okay, so I cut out those pieces. Not gonna lie, they looked a little small, but I know I'm trying to take a few things into account, like the fact that I want it to be pretty form-fitting, but also I plan on doing a lace in the back, so that'll also help me work on sizing to make sure it is like skin tight. I did a trial where I kind of just sewed the sides together to see if it would fit. I think it's a little weird, to be honest, but I mean, I think it'll work. But I did want to have, I don't know what it's called, but like the fabric behind it so that the string or ribbon or whatever, it's not just going to be flat on my back. It'll be against a different piece of fabric. And the idea with this is that I want it to be removable so I can snap it on and off depending on how I want to wear the shirt. This is going to be the general shape that I try to match with the star side of the shirt with the stripes. So I'm going to start cutting out some strips and then sewing them together basically, because that'll be the back side of this. God, I wish there was a way for me to like explain this better. I don't know, but I'm hoping that when it's actually done, it'll be a little bit more clear visually and also functionally versus me trying to ramble on about it and explain, because obviously that's not doing very much.
Next, I started to draft out some measurements for the strips. I did try to mix it up because I wanted it to be, not too symmetrical. I did anywhere between like 3 and 4.5 inches wide for each strip. But yeah, I just kind of marked it up with a washable fabric marker and then started slicing away.
So I spent some time cutting up my strips. I got the whites, I got reds, and I have some black here. I want to just start sewing these pieces together to kind of just see what I have before I actually cut it to size. And before I like do too much too, I need to like really think about what my plan is again. I did order this like D-ring tape so then I can just use those to be my back lacing and I don't have to, make all the little loops or anything. I ordered some snaps as well, and I think that's how I'll be able to attach this piece. That's for the back or the front, the lace up part. They'll either be, on one side or the other, but I should be able to do it with snaps. And that'll also be the mechanism as to how I can like fold up each strip or fold it down.
This is the stuff that I bought that has the like D-rings already attached, so it'll be easy to do a lace up. It's basically just on a ribbon, but I will say it looks a little cheaply made, to be honest, but I'm hoping that all these like loose and raw ends from these tabs will be hidden when I sew it. I didn't take into account that you'd be able to see the colored stripes behind the white, like look how thin it is. However, I don't know if I dislike that. I think it was kind of cool, and also if I distressed it and like cut some holes here, you'll see the back end of it, which I think might be cool.
So I sewed all the fabric strips together to basically create a new big piece of fabric that was now been, Frankensteined together. Then I used the white parts of the shirt that I had already cut out as a template to basically copy it to the new piece of Frankenstein fabric. I tried to be strategic in where I placed the white pieces and eventually cut out my front and back pieces of the striped shirt. And then eventually I ended up with a front and back piece, being careful to make sure that, I didn't forget to leave all my hanging strips where they were. And then I sewed all the white pieces together, and then I sewed all the striped pieces together. This is kind of how you would make a shirt with a lining in it. It'd be your main fabric and your lining fabric. I'm considering the striped one to be the main star. Then I sewed the shirts right sides together, sandwiching the D-rings in between. Here you can see me kind of testing out what that would look like.
Okay, this is a bit of a new angle of my bathroom. As you can see, I'm getting ready. I'm actually headed to a concert tonight in Boston. I'm going to see The Maine, one of my favorite bands, so I'm excited for that. I'm also going to do a bit of testing on my phone to try and film more stuff onto a separate hard drive, just because I know I do not have enough space on my phone for the BTS show next weekend, so I gotta see what I can do for options. I haven't really checked in very much on camera about my progress on my DIY project, so I figured right now would be good. I worked a lot on it today. This is what it looks like so far. So this is the front, and then it go around, and the back here I sewed in the little D-rings here. Yeah, I think the main thing I gotta do is figure out how I want to decorate everything and what I want to do to it. I want to make it a little more distressed and I don't know, just a little more grungy, I guess. Same thing with this side. I have to add the Arirang logo here, and maybe just do a couple of rips and cuts and maybe some shredding, and I don't know, maybe we'll add some safety pins or something. But part of me is should I just leave it as is? I don't know. I still have to print out the vinyl and do iron-ons on the bottom of these, and also have to figure out how long I want these to be too. But yeah, we've made a lot of progress on this, and we have now exactly 1 week until showtime for BTS.
Hello, we are once again meeting in my car. I am just about to walk into Michael's to grab a couple of things there. It is Sunday, which means it is officially BTS week. Officially. I'm seeing BTS this week. So yesterday morning, I worked on my shirt a little more, checked in with you guys with my progress. I think some of the things I only have left to do with it are really just the aesthetics parts. That's part of the reason why I'm here. I'm just going to grab some fabric medium so I can turn some of my acrylic paint into fabric paint. I know, I'm worried because I do like the top the way it is right now, but I don't want to mess it up. But I gotta lean in and just do something to it. Also, I think I might try to see if there is any type of those little purse pouch things I can maybe decorate if I want to, or just to use to take into Raymond James Stadium, just because their bag policy is pretty tiny, and 90% of the things I own do not fit the bag policy size. I'm just looking to find a vessel that has enough space as well as fits the parameters. I just don't like carrying stuff because I feel like these two hands, they will be occupied. Army bomb in one hand, phone in the other,
I don't know. I just don't want to like drop anything by accident, or like, you know, if I don't have enough space to put things in, I feel like I'm going to forget something, blah, blah, blah. I'm really hoping that this is my last like necessary stop and that like I don't need to buy anything last minute before I actually go on the trip. This week is a little bit busy with me for work. And then again, it's just like final touches of like making sure everything's like together, but also just kind of final plans of like what I want to do when I'm there, like what do I want for merch, what am I going to do on Monday. I'm hoping that me and Jesus can just have a fun like Tampa day, to be honest. All this to say, I'm really excited and I feel like we're making progress on my little DIY. But anyway, let's go to Michael's and see what we can find.
We found some fabric medium, which is kind of pricey, like $20, but we got 8 ounces, so we're gonna buy her anyway as an investment, so we'll always have her anytime we want to make anything into fabric paint. They're about to close soon, so I kind of need to just hustle and then GTFO. I wanted this to work, but it's too small. When I got home that night, I started to work on the snaps that I would use for that like extra fabric piece to put in between the two halves that would lace up. The reason why I bought these snaps were that I liked the variety of color, and then this is me also just kind of testing out what the lace up would look like. Originally, I was going to use a black ribbon, but I found this red paracord at Michael's, and I think it's way better.
What's up? It's Monday evening. After I got out of work, I went for a quick little, walk at the gym, got some steps in, and came home, had a quick dinner, and now I'm down in my office, my stream room, my lair, whatever you want to call it, and I am ready to not only stream, I've been kind of lacking on my streams lately, but also I'm continuing to work on my shirt. I want to do the the fabric painting stuff, as well as some of the like stencils I need to create, as well as the little vinyl that I want to add on to it. So I have my Cricut on the ground here, ready to work. And that'll be what I'm streaming today. I got these on sale a while ago and I've just kind of had them in my stash. But these are iron-on vinyls. And I feel like that'll be fun to add to this, like all 3 of the colors, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to cut out their names with. I also want to cut out a stencil for the word arirang and paint that onto the front here. And then I'm going to do the arirang logo on the white side of the shirt. Also, quick little update. The snaps that I bought, I need to return because they're crap. They don't work very well. Also, I realized, looking back at the footage, I sewed it on incorrectly anyway. When I was trying to just snap them together, they would not snap. So I'm returning them and getting a new, hopefully better, snap kit. Yeah, I think the other thing I might have planned for today, I don't know how much time I'll have, whether it's on stream or off stream, whatever, is that I want to start cutting my freebies. I got these tiny little baggies. I think they're like 2 inches by, I don't know, like 3 or 4 inches tall. And from the sticker sheets that I made, 3 years ago, I'm just going to cut some of them out and put them in here, maybe 3 or 4 of them in one little baggie, and then seal it up, and that'll be my freebie. I've mentioned that the bag policy for Tampa is really tiny. It's 4.5 by 6.5, and literally nothing I own fits that. Unfortunately, I did have to buy a couple of new things. I bought 2 options from Amazon. One of them is basically what every single person on the internet that I can see who's going to the concert is buying, and it's basically a lanyard for your phone that has a crossbody lanyard with a detachable wallet thing, and then it has a couple of D-rings, so it just works well to have everything, hopefully. And then the second option I bought is actually a little clear bag that you can put a Labubu in or something, or a sitting plush. It's under 6 inches tall and it's under 4 inches wide, so we'll see what works. And I told Jesus, who I'm meeting up with in Tampa, that she can use the other option that I have that I'm not going to use. I'm hoping to be all done with everything that I need to make and DIY for this vlog by Wednesday, so I can spend Thursday, Friday editing it, and it'll be up and ready to go on Sunday for you guys while I'm traveling to Tampa and seeing BTS, and then you guys will see that vlog 2 weeks after, I think. That's the plan anyway. So hopefully future Nilanda figures her shit out and this actually happens the way I think it's going to. Enough talking now. Let's get to DIYing. Let's get to streaming.
So I was able to cut these little stencils from my Cricut out of cardstock. So basically I cut out the word arirang but just used the negative space so I could use that as the stencil. And I taped them all onto the shirt. I will say in retrospect, I wish I did it a little higher, but what are we going to do? Then I put all of the paint I wanted to use on a little scrap of cardboard to use as a palette, and then added my fabric medium to it. And then I just sponge and painted away at each letter.
Okay, so this is what it looks like before I take everything off. I'm thinking I will need to go over letters here. Okay. Good morning. It is Wednesday. How is it already Wednesday? Thursday, Friday. my God. Every time I think about it, I can't believe it's so freaking close. It is about 7:30 this morning, and I am just having some breakfast before I head to work. I'm having half of a protein bagel and some cottage cheese on it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how time is going by so quickly. Obviously with like work stuff, things are just hard to do. It's busy. But like yesterday I brought some like stickers over to cut, and let me tell you, I had 0 time to cut any, so didn't do that. I came home and the 2 bags that I ordered from Amazon were here. So honestly, I spent probably 2.5 hours trying to figure that out. From gathering all the stuff that I needed to cutting certain things to seeing if it all fit in one bag or the other and what was my best option, etc. Like it took me probably an hour and a half just to like finagle everything and like really decide what I needed to bring, what I don't need to bring, etc. And then I made a TikTok about it. And then I edited the TikTok. And then when I was done with that shit, it was like 10 p.m. That's literally all I did yesterday when I got home from work. I ate dinner and then I worked on these 2 bags. And granted, I'm glad I figured that out, but like, I really gotta stop overestimating how much time I have to like do things. Today is kind of the last day I wanted to have in this vlog, and I wanna like finish everything up that I can so that tomorrow and Friday I can work on editing this vlog and having it up before I leave. I have to really hustle tonight to like get as much as I can done with my DIY shirt. I'm definitely not as prepped for the show as I wanna be. I'll check back in after I get home from work today and see how far we get with everything we need to do. How is it only like 3 days away? I can't believe it.
Hello, checking in after work. I'm back, and the first thing I did is grab my shirt. The colors definitely look better on the letters. But yeah, I think just adding some white and adding some more layers definitely brought out some of those brighter colors much more. Like the N is much more clear. I added some white to the gold to try to make it pop too. And now I'm adding the snaps. So I returned the old crappy ones, and then I got a new set that actually comes with the pliers, and I tried one so far. And let me tell you, A, using the pliers and stuff works so much easier. It's very fast versus like me trying to hand sew everything. And B, the snaps actually snap. Let me show you. You can see I added a snap here. This is the back or the white part of my shirt. And then I have one here. And it can snap on like this. Like that. And then as you can see, this is like the back side. So then it'll be behind where I put all like the lace up over here. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. I've still been sitting here. Here is my progress. I spent maybe 30 minutes practicing and learning how to do this fun knot, which you see on a lot of Korean norige, which are basically these like keychain hang tassel things that are like very traditional to Korea. So I learned how to tie it like this. I think it looks great. Basically, I strung it through this little loop here that I added. And I think it looks super cute. Unfortunately, it took me a really long time to figure out which orientation I should do to have it lay flat like this. As you can see, I've already completed it here. And then what I've done is I've strung the red string through it. And basically it'll tie on the back loops over here. But that's how it'll be adjustable.
It's Thursday, which means I only have 2 more days until it is like showtime that I'm in Tampa, that I gotta go and see BTS. So my priorities until then have kind of changed a little bit. I wanted to finish off this vlog by yesterday, and so I can have it edited for Sunday. Obviously, if I'm still vlogging, that's not quite where we're at. My priorities until I leave are basically finish my shirt, or like the front part that I'm gonna wear. I think the white side of the shirt, that's going to be a later problem. I just don't have the time to like, figure that out right now. So I'm just going to focus on the striped side that I will actually be wearing to the show. I have to cut out the vinyls for that still and iron those on. But after that, I think that should kind of be like the last thing. The other thing I really got to do is cut freebies and pack them and make sure I have them ready to go. Those are my 2 main tasks for today. The last thing on the list that I would like to get done before I leave for Tampa is to make sure these nails are on point, okay? As you can see, they're really gross right now. I've decided that I'm going to do them myself, whether it's making a press-on set or just doing like gel X on my own. In addition to me just like prepping for like trips and, trying to like have fun, etc., I have to work still, and work is pretty busy right now, or just like I have a lot of little tasks to do. I got a whole running list here. So I'm going to do my best to try and get that all done today, and then hopefully on my in-betweens, whether it's on like lunch or between meetings or whatever, to do little things like I really got to put a load of laundry in. All right, fam, last day of the vlog, let's finish strong. It's midday and I just stopped to have some lunch. You're literally sitting in my microwave, by the way. Look. I quickly whipped together some fried rice with Chinese sausage and some frozen veg. Super quick and easy to get together. Those are the leftovers that I can have either later tonight, tomorrow, whatever. I already had my portion. I was just so hungry. So I cooked and then scarfed it down. But before I log back into my computer, I do need to put that laundry away, and I really want to get those vinyls cut out. Even if I don't get to iron them onto my shirt yet, I need to get them cut out. I need to make some progress on the trip BTS stuff, okay? I just always underestimate how long things actually take when it comes to me doing DIY projects and getting ready for trips, etc., etc. So I just want to make sure I'm making some progress at least. So basically what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have the correct colors for the correct name in the correct spot on my mat. Okay, so hopefully I mapped everything out right and it works out the way it's supposed to. I may be an idiot and have done it wrong. I didn't realize that the shiny part was a big old plastic piece. So I'm trying it again where I peel it off and I'm doing it directly on the little vinyl stuff. And I think this is also wrong again. Okay, she's working again. I think I finally figured her out. I got a couple here that I've already done, RM, and I have V here. Again, it took me a little bit. Probably should have read the instructions or something, but I'm hoping that I finally figured it out. There's a bit of trial and error for me and a lot of little garbage here, but hopefully I have enough vinyl to still, do what I gotta do. After lots of trial and error, I finally figured it out. So I can basically put this against my shirt and then iron it on and then peel this plastic part off. I shouldn't have put Jimin and RM as the same color because they're going to be next to each other on my shirt, but that's okay. I live with that, All right, this is the final step of what I can actually do before the show. This isn't exactly everything I want to get done for the shirt in general, but for the purpose of I got a show in 2 days, it's going to be good enough. Okay. We're ironing Jin on. Am I worried that I should have read the directions? Definitely. Okay, Jin is ironed and cooling down. I'll peel the plastic off shortly. Okay, Hobie in the hot seat. Okay. Okay. I purposely put the members' names in order by their age as opposed to the fan chant order, just so I can have RM in the middle. As the leader, I feel like I like his spot in the center as the age center, I guess. It just looks really great visually, I think. All right, fam. This is where we're ending with the shirt. I don't think it's fully done yet. The underside is definitely not done, but for this front side, I think it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cute, looks pretty cool. Is it perfect? No. Is it done? No. That's okay. But I think it's 90% there. This little knot detail was not part of the plan, but it just came to me and I love what it's adding to the shirt. I do wish I painted the arirang higher, over the boobs. I'm sad that it gets tucked under where my boobs land and kind of where my waist is. I wish it was higher, or even if it was lower. And obviously I painted it, so I can't get rid of it now. Obviously, I love, love, love how the names came out. Obviously, there are a couple of mishaps, but some of them look really good. But that's the lace-up part. It's not done all the way, but I'll have Hisu probably do it for me. I'll probably wear this on Sunday. And then these little knots, I'll actually loop them the opposite way, so then this part will tuck into my shirt better. But yeah, I think I'm going to wear this with either shorts or a little bubble skirt or something. I don't know. I still have to figure that out. But that's for me to figure out tomorrow, and you'll see it in 2 weeks' time in my next vlog. So these are the stickers I made about 3 years ago. I believe I actually have a vlog about when I made them and when I vendored. I was thinking of potentially doing an Etsy shop at the time for stickers and cute stuff and clay things, whatever. Didn't really happen. I haven't looked at this stuff in a couple of years, and looking at it, I'm oh my god, this is so fun and cute. I obviously don't have the time to make brand new freebies or anything. I figured I would just kind of cut some of these stickers out. I've already done a few here, and I will put them into a little baggie like this, seal it, and just hand those out. These are a little outdated just because these were before certain members even had their own solo stuff out. I figured just kind of cutting out some of the stickers from the sheets and putting them into a little baggie. It would also be a good way to have variety, so it's not just giving out a whole sticker sheet, but rather oh, you get something that's Jimin related and Sugar related and BTS related, whatever. But also, having it in these like little baggies. This is a flat and compact way to carry them, which obviously with Tampa, the bag policy is so small. So I'm glad that I'll be able to fit at least a few of these into my bag. So I'm going to work on cutting all of this stuff. And finally, my nail stuff that I ordered came in today. Granted, it's like almost 9 o'clock already, but my nail stuff came in today. So I'm really hoping to get started. I definitely won't finish, but I'm hoping to get started on a nail set. All right, fam, it is close to 10 o'clock. As you can see, I'm already in my pajamas, so I'm pretty much ready for bed, but I am not quite done yet with the things I wanted to get done today. I did cut up some freebies, so at least I have some. I'm gonna work on cutting more tomorrow if I have time, and maybe bring some stuff with me as well. Just it'll all depend, but I'm happy I have at least a couple things. The only other thing I really want to work on today is my nails. So I have my whole little like setup over here. I'm going to work on making a BTS Arirang press-on nail set tonight before I go to bed. So this is how I'm going to end my night and how I'm going to end the vlog. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me this week as I did a whole bunch of stuff to get ready for my BTS Tampa trip. I know it was a little chaotic of the amount of things I was trying to do, all these like little projects in between vlogging, but I am so freaking excited. I can't believe that the day is finally here, that I get to see BTS all reunited back together, and it's only just a couple days away. If you like videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you ever want to hang out with me live, I do stream about 2 to 3 times a week. Maybe not on a week that's this busy, but usually I try to. At twitch.tv/Nilanda_XO. And I will catch you in my next vlog, where I'll be in Tampa for BTS.